Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we're going to do some things a little bit differently than I said we were going to do at the end of last episode. First of all, I'm in the contracts room, as you see. I'm going to collect all contracts that I think I have a chance of getting in this episode. So we've got science data from space around Kerbin. Yeah, we should be able to do that. Test an LV-909 landed engine. Assuming there's one on the ship I'm going to fly, sure. Plant a flag on the moon. I think we can handle that. Rescue Bart Dunn Kerman. Sorry, Bart Dunn, you're going to have to wait a little while. Science data from space around the moon. I think we can do that. Test the Rockomax. This orbiting Kerbin. There's a chance that I got one of those on my list. Test the Rockomax brand decoupler on a suborbital trajectory over Kerbin. There's a very good chance that that's going to happen because of the fact that we're decoupling things. Explore Duna. That's not going to happen. Explore Minmus. Sorry, that's not going to happen. Test the Skipper engine on an escape trajectory out of the moon. That's kind of a crazy one. Sadly, nobody sent me a Skipper engine, so we're going to leave that one for another day. And I had previously said that I was going to launch somebody's ship, but I don't know which one it was. But where I actually realized that I should, anytime I start a new mission, I start a new episode, I should launch the ship that's been here the longest, that was submitted first, we should say, that I can. And that means Voltion's Moon Explorer 4. The one that I first looked at and said, "Oh my god, that machine is crazy." That's the one we're gonna launch to the moon. So we all know what that means. First of all, I'm gonna check my action groups. Mostly for the abort sequence, which doesn't exist. So I think a good abort sequence would be to kick these off. Kick this off. And activate this engine. I think that's a good abort sequence. And then we're going to put Voltion in the cockpit here. You're in here somewhere. Voltion Kerman. You get to fly your own ship to the moon. So let's go ahead. And as they say on the, I don't know, somewhere, let's launch. Okay, we're on the launch pad. We've got our flight engineer. Oh, our new mod. I have to configure my visible buttons. Blizzy's ambient light adjustment. The entire reason for this mod is I am sick of doing editing in post. So I'm going to set ambient light to normal right now, and we're going to leave it at that. But just to show you here, I'm going to bring up my contracts, and we're going to bring these down just so we have them in view here. Assuming this has a 909 on it, which I honestly don't know if it does. I don't know if these are, yeah, these are T30s. This is the LV-909. In theory, I could thrust limit this to 0. I'm going to do this. And then, actually, I'm going to thrust limit both of these to 0. And then I'm going to put them in the first stage. So we get the credit for that. We're going to test this on Kerbin just to get the credit. The Rockomax brand decoupler. Is that just this guy? No, it's not. I'm not sure what the Rockomax brand decoupler is. It's not this one, is it? Nope, it's got to be the bigger one. I think it's the bigger decoupler, the one that goes on orange tanks. So we're not going to get that. But this guy here, see, we have done this, so I wonder if we don't have to do this anymore. That's kind of interesting. We still need to land moon and bring back data from the moon, but that's our goal here. So we're going to bring up our surface and our vessel. Our vessel apparently has not a number meters per second. Oh, probably because I've turned off those things. But apparently we have, that is hilarious. I don't know how much meters per second we have. I don't care. We've got everything up here. And in 3, 2, 1, launch! And holy cow, this thing barely gets off the ground. I am going to assume that for no other reason out of sheer desire to survive, that Voltion Kerman has correctly set up all the staging on this thing. Now there's nothing between these, So when these liquid fuel engines run out, and these solid fuel engines run out, I am going to hit the spacebar and see what happens. And I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to hold on to the liquids for just a little bit while the solids sort of teeter us here at this amount. And there we go. Apparently I had to hit the spacebar twice. Okay, we are cruising up now. Yeah, I'm not really going to pay attention to these. I'm not going to attempt to get any of them. But any of them that I get, I am going to be happy about. So, what's next on the staging list? That is these guys here. Which means, yeah, when these guys run out, I'm going to hit the spacebar. We're cruising up. We're basically just pushing our apoapsis above our altitude here. We don't really care. I don't think we ever have to worry about surface. Actually, we are above atmospheric efficiency. So let's crank this down a little bit. Say goodbye to those. Oh, now I got to bring it above atmospheric efficiency again, or to it. I am flying this ship horribly, and I should also, speaking of flying the ship horribly, be turning. Okay, I don't care about surface really. There's no chance we're ever gonna reach that. So I'm just gonna be watching my apoapsis here. It's at 17. We are cruising along. Things are looking good. The next thing to go is all of these. So I'm gonna assume. Looks like, yeah, it looks like he made this thing correctly in that these guys are all gonna run out of thrust at the exact same time. Which I appreciate. I'm just gonna go down on record saying I appreciate that. And get those going. Yeah, I'm not used to the engine staging in a separate stage than the rockets are being dumped. Apparently this goes after these guys run out, is I guess what it is. Not gonna question it, just gonna do it. So we're pushing our apoapsis up. I'm gonna get it up to about 80. Just gonna sit right on the horizon here on the nav ball. When my apoapsis height right here gets to 80, then I'm gonna be happy. What is this engine? This is a T30. Yeah, it's the same as these guys, so okay, don't need to worry about what it is. There's E. And I hit the space bar instead of the letter X. Voltion seems happy about that. Oops. Well, here's our space program's first casualty. Yeah. That's what happens sometimes. We have nothing we can do. So we are going to ride this back down. And Voltion's going to get a second try. So I'll tell you what, I won't make you watch this. I will be back when we are back on the launch pad. Wow. Actually, you know what? I'll be back when we're back in orbit. Or when we're back to almost being in orbit. Because you've seen this happen. I have no reason to do it again. Or on camera, at least. Okay, just hit F12. Just so you can see, I, like a boss, hit my engines and landed Voltion on the little peninsula. So he got a lot of science from the grassland, so it wasn't a complete loss. Way to go, Voltion. Okay, hop back on board. Let's go and recover. And I'll see you in orbit. I'm sorry. First of all, Voltion, I'm sorry I killed you. Everyone else, I'm sorry that I didn't record killing Voltion. I got his ship to the moon. I very expertly brought his ship down in this canyon. Slid it down through the canyon. It was like grinding the canyon. It was awesome. I came down through here. I slowed him down. I touched down on the surface, and then I screwed up. His ship did not screw up. My control of his ship screwed up. And I crashed him. And all that's left is this piece of landing gear and this piece of landing gear. And I didn't record any of it because I forgot to hit the record button. I seem to have gained prestige despite the fact that I killed Fonvigen. Or, I'm sorry, not Fonvigen. I killed Voltion, who will be back because I don't have persistent kills on. I would restore from a quick save and replay it, but as I was talking about while I wasn't recording, I didn't do a quick save all mission, and I was very proud of that. Now I think I'm going to start doing quick saves and just not restore from them so I can restore when I realize I'm not recording the whole thing. So that's the end of this episode. We did get a couple contracts. We also, whatever, I don't know, we killed Voltion. Okay, I decided to launch again, and Voltion, first of all, has done 2 flights, even though neither one was successful, and you barely saw them. Also, he's still, let's say, out of commission. So Blizzy was first up on the roster, so he gets to go up and try to land this thing on the moon. Okay, and we got him up into an orbit. It's a very, very nice orbit, actually, 80 by 80. It's off by about 300 meters from a perfect orbit. But we're gonna burn here. It's usually about 850 or so. Gets you out to the moon. Just kind of surprised. Maybe I have to burn a little bit later than this. There it is. And that's a fairly nice low orbit there. Let's go right like that. Not that we're gonna actually achieve that exactly, but yeah, I kind of soul searched a little bit, to be honest. I almost posted a 10-minute video for this, and then I decided, no, you know what? I'm not gonna let my own stupidity beat me here. So I have hit F5 a couple times already in this flight. I am not going to resume that. I'm actually going to hit it again here now that I have my maneuver node. I am not going to resume from that for any reason other than non-game related stupidity. That does include bugs in the game, if the game crashes or something along those lines. It does not include if I crash. Okay, so it's actually pretty close. 21 seconds, got about 35 seconds before the thing. I should probably be aimed closer to the maneuver node. What do you think about that? But yeah, this has been a moderately storied mission here. Not exactly the mission I was hoping for. Oh, and I should show you something else here in a second. I will show this to you. Okay, let's get this periapsis. Okay, fine. Don't allow me to do that. Come on, be nice. Show me the money. It did this before. Okay, a periapsis of 203. Let's get that down to about 100. I'm sorry, about 30 or so. 26. Perfectly fine by me. Okay. There's the moon rising. Yeah, I took the fuel out of the center tank here, and I put it into these. And now I'm going to, I think, put it back in this center tank, because if we were to, yeah, I'm actually going to do that, because that'll fling them out of the system, which to me is as good as them being dead. Because I don't want any debris. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it than keep these things attached. It did waste a little bit of fuel, but I've got 5,000 Delta V. That is far more than I'll ever need. So let's go ahead and ditch these. Huh. That's kind of funny. Let's bounce them back and forth to get rid of them. I'm sure that's what NASA would do. Let's go ahead and focus on the moon. When we get to this, we're actually kind of far south, to be honest. We set the moon as a target. Yeah, we're just about there now. We want to burn north when we get here, which should be this way on the nav ball. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, -1. Whoops. 0, and that's as close to 0 as I care to be. Okay, and that also brought our periapsis down to 8,000. I'm actually not going to worry about that until we are here. But I am going to worry about it when we're here. I'm going to bring it up to 25. Looks good. It's a tiny little burn, so it shouldn't hurt. And tell you what, you've seen me get in orbit around the moon now that you see what I'm doing, so I will be back when I'm actually there. And I promise this time I'll actually hit F12 again. Okay, we're coming in here, and I figure why orbit when I can just come in, slow down, and then come in over the canyon here and just bring it in for a nice easy landing. So we got a 338 meter per second burn. That is more than this engine has, which is a little disturbing because I don't want to use this engine up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the staging here. I'm going to remove this decoupler here. When this guy runs out of fuel, I can now hit space, and these guys will turn on, but this guy will not disconnect until I hit the space bar a second time. So I can do that when we have a collision trajectory with the moon, so we don't leave this thing in orbit around the moon, or even worse, Kerbin. That's the plan. So I'm going to keep you here for this because it's a little more technically involved than anything else. I'm also going to hit F5 just in case I screw this up. So let's go ahead and bring this down. The moon is rotating a lot more than I expected it to. How is that going to change my crater? It looks like it's actually not. So we're still going to do this burn. It's an 18 meter per second burn. Or I'm sorry, it's an 18 second burn. Most of it, like I said, is going to be done with this engine. And the other two engines should be roughly the same thrust to weight, but I don't know that for a fact. But we should be fine. Let's get it down to about 10 seconds before we hit the gas here. This looks good. Bringing our orbit down here. Pretty soon our engine's going to die. And we're going to hit the space bar. I hate those explosions. Okay, now we can ditch the engine. And now we have this. And that's going to crash into the surface in front of us. God, I hate that. Going to map mode makes it explosion noises, and they just scare the crap out of me. Okay, so we're going to be coming in over this canyon here, and right here, I'm just going to do a stop maneuver. And that's going to take a minute, which is kind of scary, but we're going to do it anyway. It worked for Voltion. He didn't die because of that, so don't worry, Blizzy. I just looked up to make sure that I had however, I don't really see a reason not to turn this engine on. It's going to give me better thrust to weight, and I'm carrying it anyway. The only problem is it'll run out of this fuel, but it's actually not because I can just pump these fuels back in. So yeah, I'm going to activate this engine even though apparently I'm not supposed to. But, okay, so, what do we got here? Do we have any EVA reports to do? Yeah, this is kind of a weird bug with this thing. I reported this as a bug. Hopefully that'll get fixed. If I move it over, if I take it off the Blizzy toolbar, and it goes over here, it actually is fine. However, it then blocks if I want to have my resources up or anything like that. So I don't actually like that. But I think I'm going to leave it here just so I don't have the light show. Let's go ahead and aim ourselves at this thing. Now, then that should also be about a 40-second burn because we have 50% more thrust. Okay. And speaking of, okay, we got plenty of electric charge. Oh, there's our node right there. Again, I'm not used to not having these things. Okay, so here we go. It's now or never. It's now or never. And I should be looking at these. Okay, I still don't have an EVA report, which is funny because I figured I would have one here. I'm actually going to try this and see what it does. EVA report. Reset experiment. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe what's his name went over this or something. But here we are, 2 minutes from our burn. We're coming up on the canyon. We're not coming straight in like we were the first time. I'm going to go down to about 20 seconds though. It looks like, see, you can see the debris from the before. I'm actually going to go down to where I'm 30 seconds before. and then I'm going to hit the gas. Which is right now. And yeah, see, it's a 30-second burn, so I'm actually going to wait till we're about 20 seconds before. Oh, now I have an EVA report I can do. Not going to happen. But yeah, we're coming in right through the canyon. This is exactly what happened in the other mission. Again, don't worry, Blizzy. I know exactly what I did wrong. I trusted myself to be able to land a spaceship. That's what I did wrong. I'm actually going to not slow down enough. I'd like to land like right here, because this looked fairly flat before. We got plenty of meters per second. We got 2 grand. We only need about 1,000, not even 1,000 to get back to Kerbin from the moon. So this is perfectly fine. How are we? What's our? Let's kill this maneuver node because we don't need it. This is actually pretty much perfect. Our impact time is 30 seconds from now. We're going 170 meters per second, which is kind of fast. I'm going to hit the gas again. Okay. I don't think craters actually do that. On the landscape like that. I don't know that for a fact. I am not any sort of ologist at all, but I just think that possibly they don't do that. Okay, I'm really liking this area right here as a place to land. Just getting it down to 30 meters per second here. Oh, my other piece is still flying. That's funny. Did it actually... Is it going to crash over there? I think it's going to crash over there. Or is it beyond the limb of the moon? Who knows? Okay. Let's kill our horizontal velocity. We are falling 7 meters per second. I'm going to rotate this way, because this kind of looks like we're going to be landing this way. There's my shadow. Whoops, I'm rotating the wrong way. Okay, I'm just trying to keep our... This is a terrible place to land. This is the problem we had before. I panicked. Okay, I need to... See, yeah, this is the correct alignment here. So let's... By alignment, I mean I need to be able to see which way I'm going. Okay, this is looking better, I think. I've never actually landed in this canyon before, and now I know why. Okay, this is flatter, we'll say. Even though it's probably a lie. Okay. 6 meters per second. That's what I was afraid of happening. Okay, let's ride this down here. I almost died because the mouse over the thing problem. Yeah, see, I need to get in the bottom of one of these things, I think. We still have plenty of fuel. I would like to land with over $1,000 my second time, because I'm going to land twice, because I have 2 materials bays. It's kind of funny that we're going like right where he was before. But we have 2 materials bays, and they're only good for landed on. I mean, it says here I can do a materials study. Space near the moon. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna save that for a flight that doesn't have the potential that this one has of landing on 2 biomes. Yeah, this is just a terrible place to land. Actually, it's funny. I think that the best place to land is inside this crater. Or maybe on the rim. But I don't think I'm going to try to land on the rim of a crater. Yeah, I think right down where the debris is the best place to land. Okay, are you going to stay up right now? Yes, you are! Ha ha ha! We did it. And whew, how hard was that? Okay. Now we are going to pump. Now we're not going to even bother pumping fuel. We're going to take this reading here and this reading here, just for lack of a better thing to do. Blizzy, what are you doing? I think you're drunk. Okay. So now we're going to do a surface sample and an EVA report. Keep and keep. Okay, let's go inspect Fonvigen, and we can even roleplay this as we've collected his corpse for the reanimation machine. So here we are. Here's the debris. It looks like this is the only piece left because the other piece looks like it fell through the moon. But there it is. Oh, you know, Blizzy, you're a little too happy. Actually, this might make a better screenshot than the one that I had. Because the other one I had kind of implies that I survived. And it was from the one before. So okay, so we got that. Let's head back to our ship here. Now we're gonna take off and we're just gonna go up to the edge of the whoa crater wall, and we're gonna fly on our face and bounce across the surface. Probably smack into our thing. Oh, is this gonna have perfect English on it? No. Come on, Blizzy. Enough screwing around. And back in. Okay, now we are going to take off and just go to the left up there, which I hope is actually to the left. I think it's actually to my right because it's north. It doesn't really matter. Either way we go, we're going to end up not here anymore. So, yeah, it's to my right. What are we doing? We want to go more south. Get over the crater walls here. Okay, and again with wanting my ship to be aimed kind of similar to the way I'm pointing. This should definitely not be in the canyon anymore. That's for sure. Looks like we're destined to aim ourselves right at crater walls, which is kind of annoying. I guess we could stop right here, though. There we go. And we still got plenty of meters per second. Another slope. Another annoying slope. And we're good. Okay. Mystery Goo, Material Study, Crew Report. Moon's Highlands, Highlands, and Highlands. And let's take our EVA report. There we go. Oh, fail. Okay. Now, let's get some fuel. Actually, I think we're still going to have fuel in this thing. In and in. Oh, yeah, we're going to have plenty of fuel left. We actually don't want to drop these yet. Let's gonna take a little bit of finesse to balance these things, to be honest. There, so now there's a little bit more oxidizer in one and a little bit more regular fuel in the other. And the thing is once I get this guy in orbit, I might be able to transfer the fuel in and then do that. So we are heading east to get out of here. We have no more reason to be up here at all. There's no science to be done. If there was, this thing would be going. So we're gonna burn this way. There shouldn't really be anything in front of us because we're kind of, well, we are in the highlands. We're going to wait until our apoapsis is at about, say, 15. There we go. Yeah, 30 and 30. So, and this is only missing 20. So we gotta, yeah, we're going to have to at least get into orbit, if not start our way home before we do this. I could always just dump these just to get rid of them. Might not be a horrible idea. Let's get our periapsis right to 0, and then we'll see what the utility of saving these is. Another possibility is to bring them all the way back to Kerbin, which honestly is not a bad idea. Bring them all the way back to Kerbin, and then I can land on the landing gear. Which might save all my engines and everything, especially with the powered landing. I think I'm going to try that. Voltion's probably screaming at me because there's a really bad reason not to do that, but here's the problem. I don't care. I fly it my way. Okay, it's a 5-second burn, so let's just go ahead and come on down here, do this burn. Okay, apoapsis is here, periapsis is here. Let's get our periapsis up to about 16 as well. There we go. Now it's all about getting home, which is actually coming up. So let's just burn right here. What do you say? Oh, one thing I don't want to do is leave Moon too fast because I don't want to screw up my nice periapsis. Whoa, almost did. We are 39. We are 2 hours from periapsis. Whoa, we are 4 minutes from periapsis. We're coming in here. It's weird to not see clouds or city lights on this thing. It's also weird to... Oh, I guess I had already turned it up. Yeah, oh yeah, I definitely already turned up the ambient light. I'm actually concerned that I'm not down far enough because we're actually already going back up. So it looks like we are going to have a second rotation. But you know what? I don't care that much. I don't care enough to waste all my fuel on it. We're going to get a nice sunrise here. There it goes. Oh, oh, what do we got here? EVA report. I think we can risk this. Over the Badlands. Definitely keep that data. Get our landing gear out, why not? Okay, we're back in the atmosphere. I can't imagine this time we're not going to stay in the atmosphere. I don't know, we've passed our periapsis. We might actually get back out of the atmosphere here. Let's loop ourselves back around. Yeah, I think we're almost guaranteed to come back on land, and I'm actually starting to wonder if we're going to get lucky and come back on the Badlands. Let's go into free mode because I hate being in the atmosphere in orbit mode. We could probably turn off our SAS. Did the game seriously crash on me? Okay, we're back. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was scary as all get out. It looks like we're not going to have any control over where we land. But it's definitely going to be this orbit, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be right in this area, and who knows, this might actually be Badlands. It's a little bit far north to be Badlands. The Badlands are kind of down here. But, yeah, we're definitely coming in. Turn this back on for the cinematics of the sunrise here. Sometimes you just got to enjoy yourself. Okay, we are annoyingly heading for the water. Okay, executive decision. Let's... Actually, I don't think we need to. I think we're going to land like right on this land area here. I don't think there's any chance that we're going to make it to that water. But I'm ready to force the issue if it looks bad. But we're landing on a sunrise, which is nice. How's our... Oh, we got plenty of electric charge. Yeah, I'm gonna force the issue. And I might not have enough. Trying to force myself onto this little peninsula here. I think I might have done it. Well, you know one way to guarantee it. Oh, wait. We want to hit the parachute. I should just do this with action groups. There we go. Okay, we still have 900 meters per second. It's actually going down because we're getting into the thicker atmosphere. But we've guaranteed a ground landing, which is nice. Let's see what this parachute does for us once it deploys. 14 meters per second. That is a very happy amount of meters per second. Nailed it. Okay, a crew report from Kerbin's Shores. EVA report here from Kerbin Shores. Oh, we've already had flying over Kerbin Shores, so go ahead and drop yourself down. Let's go ahead and take your surface sample. Your EVA report. And now you can't get back in your pod, so we're going to recover you separately from the pod. And I hope this doesn't recover the pod. I've heard scary things about how things get recovered as debris. So I'm going to leave you out there, Blizzy, and that way you'll be the one to get recovered as debris. So let's go ahead and recover our vessel. And we are in the blue, and it's crazy striped blue up here. For the science, we got 279 science, which is awesome. The parts we got back, we got 3,000 dollars or whatever for parts. Only 30% value because we landed so far from KSC. And the crew, there's nobody there. So let's go ahead and say done. Then let's go ahead and recover Blizzy Kerman. Recover you. Of course we're going to recover you. You have 3 science on you. You have no parts, but you are a crew member, so good job. Back in there, and we are ready to spend our science. Okay, we're here in the Science Center, and we're going to start cranking these things out. We've got skipper engines. We had to contract to test those things. So we're going to research this for 90. Then we're getting fuel lines, which everybody likes, and the 487S, my personal favorite engine. We're going to research that for 90. Looks like we got 2 more. We've got a bunch of adapters and the Rockomax brand decoupler, which I have a test for, and a hydraulic blah, 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 which I don't care about. Let's go ahead and research that. It's another radial decoupler, but it's not as good as the other one. And finally, for our last 90 points, we're going to have plane parts. You can officially build me a very poor plane with these parts. We are not going to have the landing gear until we get all the way down here. But we have everything but landing gear. If you want to try to build me a plane, maybe a VTOL, I guess. Go ahead and give that a try. We're going to research this for 90, and we are down to 10 science points. However, that mission of the moon did half of this tree, which is awesome. Oh, and somebody was pointing out to me, and I have no idea what I'm doing, that the wiki calls this tier 1. And, oh, because I installed Kerbal Engineer. I don't actually need these things because I set Kerbal Engineer to be on all pods by default. That's one of the module manager configs I have. But anyway, they said that this is tier 1. So this is tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Name your craft either way. I will accept either way. It doesn't really matter the science level that they're on. Really more of what matters is your name and what you want me to do with the craft. Because I can just hold on to it until I get the science. So anyway, speaking of getting the science, I got the science. Now let's go see what other contracts are available for us. Let's see. Test the Poodle engine. Shouldn't be hard. Test the gear bay. Explore Duna, Ike, and Minmus. I'm actually gonna accept this Minmus contract, although it seems to not expire ever. But I'm gonna accept it because we're gonna be going to Minmus very soon. Test the Skipper orbiting moon. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm not gonna accept that one. We're gonna let that one go for the time being. But we've got $454,000. We are just rolling in money, even though we crashed a ship on the moon and had to launch another one. We are rocking. Autosave ship. I'm just gonna delete this. Trying to keep this thing going. But there you go, Voltion. Your ship did great. Sorry I killed you while flying it. You'll be back, though. There'll be another ship, and your ghost will reform, and you'll be able to fly that. The next ship to go is one of these two. And I think it's the moon one, if I remember correctly. I got the moon one just before I got the Minmus one. So we're going to send up this. Let's go ahead and load it and take a look here. This ship is going up to the moon. And yeah, it's even lower science. It's lower science than the last one. So he's going up to the moon. He's just going to land somewhere and get his goo reading and come home. And we might try to find a contract that he can get us more money on as well. But that's it. So we're going to be doing that next episode. And of course, Lywin will be flying it. I hope you enjoyed watching me fail and then do better. I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.